In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can make these sunflower DIYs to decorate your tier tray for summer. Hello everyone, if you guys are new here, my name's Liz, and for today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how you can decorate your tier tray with sunflower DIYs. I think that this turned out really cute. If you like tier tray type themes and you want to decorate your tier tray for summer, these sunflower DIYs are going to be so perfect for you. These are so easy, so simple. I completed all of these in an entire day. They took me like no time at all. They were so simple and so fast. And if those are the type of crafts that you guys like, then you guys are going to love these DIYs. If you guys want to see other themed DIY tiered trays, then I will leave a link in my description box below. I have a ton of them: honey, lemon, watermelon, patriotic. I will leave them all in the description box below so that you guys can check those out as well. And just like all of my tier tray videos, make sure that you stick to the end so that you can see the final reveal of all the pieces on my tier tray. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our first DIY.
For this super easy DIY, we're going to take some fabric that we got from the Dollar Tree, some ribbon that we got from the Dollar Tree, and some florals that I think came from Michael's, but any kind of sunflower florals that you can find that are on the smaller side is perfect. You're going to need 5 of those flowers, and then I'm going to cut 6 strips of this fabric, probably a good 2 inches in length per strip, and I just cut them, you know, probably like a 1/4 of an inch wide, I would say, and then 2 inches long, and I cut 6 of those. And then I'm also going to take that ribbon that we got from the Dollar Tree. Now, I didn't like the shiny sides to this, so what I ended up doing was measuring out how long I needed this to be, and then I took my scissors and I cut the shiny strips on both sides off, and then it was, you know, less plasticky looking and more of kind of just, you know, rustic and shredded frayed on the sides, if you know what I mean. So I just cut 6 of those as well because I am going to be layering that on top of the fabric that we got from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm just going to take a piece of twine and I'm going to tie the fabric and the ribbon that I have layered on top of each other to the twine. Next, I'm just going to do a pattern of adding my sunflower. I just added a little bit of hot glue to the back, wrapped that twine around the back, let that dry, and then I'm going to repeat those same steps. I'll add my ribbon on, add my sunflower, my ribbon, my sunflower, and I'm going to keep repeating those steps until I have run out of my sunflowers and my fabric and ribbon. So 6 ribbon pieces, 5 flower pieces. This is going to be a little banner for my tier tray that you can wrap around one of your tiers and tie in the back and have this cute little banner to go on your tier tray. But that's all you have to do to create this banner. Super easy, super fast, and I think this looks so cute. For this DIY, I'm going to grab one of these wooden houses that I actually got in a pack from the Target dollar spot. I believe they were $5 for 3. And I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in plaster and I'm going to give the entire thing, besides the front, one good coat of chalk paint. Next, I'm going to take this scrapbook paper pack. This is the Gather at Home. You can purchase this off my website, moorevinyldecals.com. And I am going to use the gingham print scrapbook paper. I'm going to just put my house on top and trace that scrapbook paper out. Cut it out with a pair of scissors. And I'm going to add this to the front of my house. And to do that, I'm just going to use my good old glue stick, nothing too fancy. I always feel like this works just fine. If you want to use a Mod Podge or something else, you totally can, but I just personally like a glue stick. I add that onto my house, and I do go around the sides with an X-Acto knife to get any hanging pieces off the sides. Now I'm going to take these letter tiles that I found at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take them to spell out "You Pick," and I'm going to add one of these paper flowers that I got in a pack from Michael's. So I'm going to just start by hot gluing my paper flower down to the very top of my house, and then I will start hot gluing my letter tiles down to the house as well. Now once I have all of those glued down to my house, I'm going to take a little bit of twine, I'm going to wrap it around the bottom about 2 times, tying a knot on the side, and that is it for this DIY. This one looks super cute, and I think it's perfect for my tier tray.
For these next 3 DIYs, these are a part of my sunflower collection on my website for my tier tray kits. If you guys didn't know, I make and sell wooden craft kits. They are so much fun. You get them in a unfinished project and you can put them together to make them look like this. I just came out with a sunflower and then a plant and succulent themed tier tray kit. So if you guys want to check those out, I'll link them in the description box below. But for these next 3, I'm going to show you how I complete these and put them on my tier tray.
So for my first sunflower kit from my website, I'm going to take the truck that we've made. This comes in several different pieces, so you're going to want to start by painting each of your pieces. I like to set mine out, kind of figure out what colors I'm going to paint them first, and then kind of paint them by group. So for these 3 pieces, this is the base, and then the 2 truck bed rails, I am going to use my Waverly Wax and Antique to paint all 3 of those pieces. And I just like to use this kind of like a stain. I put it on and then with a paper towel kind of rub off the excess, and I love the look that it gives. You could also use a baby wipe to wipe off the excess, which I think looks really great as well. Now I'm going to take my Dixie Belle chalk paint in Barn Red, and I'm going to paint my entire truck in this color. You can paint the back. You'll notice that I did not later, just for time's sake, but painting the back will definitely finish it off, give it a really nice and finished look. So if you don't want to paint the back, you definitely don't have to, especially if it's going to be on a tier tray. Nobody's going to see the back. But if you're one of those people that have to have your pieces completed, then just go ahead and paint the back in this color as well. Now I'm going to use a paint pen to paint a lot of these items. So for the wheels, I will use my black paint pen from Arteza. I'll try to link them down below for you guys. I typically get them off of Amazon, so if you want to check there, you definitely can. But I'm going to use the black for the wheels, and then I have this other yellow. I want to say that this was the Bumblebee yellow. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it was. There were several different yellows in the pack, but this one was perfect for the sunflower. And then for the middle of the sunflower, I am going to use my Waverly Wax and Antique. And then one thing that I didn't show that I'm now noticing is that the one piece of the truck, I used a gray paint pen from Arteza. The name of that piece is totally escaping my brain at the moment, but you'll see it when I'm all putting it all together. So to put your pieces together, I use just some gel super glue. This is just from the Dollar Tree. Typically I like to use the Gorilla Glue gel super glue, but I don't have any at the moment. So I am just using this gel super glue from the Dollar Tree, which works just as well. So here I'm just putting all of my pieces together using that gel super glue. For the bed of the truck, I'm going to put my sunflower down right next to my truck so that they are touching, add my super glue, and then I'll add that railing of the bed of the truck on top of that so it's glued to both the sunflower and the truck itself. And then flip it on its back. You have your second rail for the bed of your truck, and you're going to add some super glue to that, add it to the back of your truck, and then add your truck to the stand, and that is it for this kit. For this next one, a personal favorite of mine, I'm going to start by taking some Waverly chalk paste in plaster, and for the main kind of arch window piece, I'm going to use that color and paint the entire thing. You don't have to paint the middle of the flower if you don't want to, because it is just going to be covered up by the main flower. So I just tried to paint as much, you know, as I thought necessary. And then again, taking a paint pen from Arteza, I'm just going to use this yellow color and paint my sunflower. And then for the middle portion of my sunflower, I'm going to take some scrapbook paper. This is the Sunflower Market Scrapbook Paper Pack. Again, you can purchase this off my website, moorevinyldecals.com, and I am going to use a little piece of some paper from that pack and glue it to the middle of my sunflower. I thought this was really cute. The colors were really pretty and had little sunflowers on it, so I just thought it was perfect. And then I'm just going to super glue the middle onto the flower, super glue the flower onto the arch, and that is it for this one. Really, really easy, and I just think this looks so cute. For this kit, this is the sunflower garland kit. You have some beads and twine, and then your sunflower. I'm going to take my Dixie Belle chalk paint in Rebel Yellow, and I'm going to use that to paint the back piece of my sunflower. So I just painted the entire thing in one coat of this paint. Going in again with another paint pen. You guys, these are my best friend when it comes to these kits because they are so much easier to use than a small paintbrush and paint. It's just way, way easier. So I just used a yellow on the cutout of the flower, your second piece, and then for your third layer on top, I'm just using my Waverly wax in Antique. Now I'm going to stain the beads with that same Waverly wax and Antique, and I just use the bag that it's going to come in. I just poured a little bit of that wax in there, and then I'm just going to shake it all up, make sure that that wax gets all over those beads. This is the fastest way to do it. I have found painting beads can be a lot of work, but this way I have found it looks really cute and it's super fast. So I just pour it onto a paper towel after I'm done with it and wipe as much of the wax off as I possibly can. Take my heat gun to it, dry it off as much as I can, and then I string the beads onto some twine that also comes in the kit. And then I'm going to string the twine through the sunflower, tie that in a knot so it is attached to my garland, and then I am going to make myself a little tassel. So to do that, I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to wrap it around my hand about 15 times. Once I've done that, you're just going to cut off the end and use the other end of the garland, the remaining twine that's on there, string it through the top and tie a double knot so your tassel is attached to your garland. Then you're going to take an excess piece of twine, wrap it around the middle of your tassel, tie a knot, and then just wrap and wrap and wrap as many times as you want, however thick you want that middle to be. And then you're just going to tie that off in a double knot. Cut the loops apart at the end of your tassel. Give it a little haircut so the twine is all nice and even. And that is it for my sunflower garland kit. Really, really easy. I just think that this looks so adorable on a tiered tray. For this DIY, I found this wooden cutting board from the Dollar Tree. I had only found one. I was so bummed. I'm going to have to go scour for some more of these because how adorable are they? I used my Waverly chalk paint and plaster to paint the entire thing, front and back and sides. Just gave it all one good coat. Next, I'm going to take some buffalo check stickers that I got from Hobby Lobby, I believe, and I'm going to use the letters H, M, and E, and then one of these paper sunflowers from Michaels to spell out the word home. So I just kind of lined everything up as best as I could. It's not perfect, but you know, you could probably measure things out if you wanted. I just kind of eyeballed it and it worked perfect for me, so just kind of figured out where each letter was going to go, try to line it up as good as I could, and then I just stuck those down, hot glued my sunflower down to the cutting board as well, and then I'm going to take some twine, add a little bit of hot glue to the back of the handle, and then wrap that twine around and around and around until I have as much on there as I think looks good, and then I'm just going to cut off the excess twine and hot glue it in place. And then to finish off this DIY, I'm going to take another piece of twine, wrap it around my thumb and my index finger 2 times, then with an excess piece of twine, wrap that around the middle and tie a double knot, and you have yourself a super cute twine bow. I am just going to add a little bit of hot glue onto the back of that, glue it down to my cutting board, cut off the tails, and that is it for this DIY. Really, really easy, and I think this one turned out, you guessed it, super cute. For this DIY, this is probably one of the easiest DIYs on today's video. I found these 2 little vases, I guess they could be called, from the Target dollar spot. They came in a pack of 3, and I want to say they were $3 or $5. I also have these paper sunflowers from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take 2 of those sunflowers, hot glue them to the very front of my little vases, and then add some twine around the top of each vase, just around and around, around. I think I went around probably about 4 times, and then I just tied maybe 3 or 4 knots in the front, and that is all you got to do for this one. I did this for both of my vases. They look exactly the same, and I just thought that this added a fun little pop of yellow, and I liked the ceramic look to the vases as well, so I thought this one was fun. For this DIY, you are going to start out with some more of this Dollar Tree fabric. I just cut a little strip of it off. I also have one of these galvanized watering cans that you can get from Hobby Lobby, really cheap. I want to say maybe $2 or $3. And I am just going to take that fabric, wrap it around the middle, and tie it in about 4 knots. Now I'm going to take some more of these sunflowers that I got from Michael's. I just cut a couple of them off, added a small styrofoam ball to the bottom of my watering can to kind of keep these flowers in place, and I just stuck the flowers and these little baby breath pieces down inside of there, and then that's really about it. This took me like 5 minutes to do, and I think it looks gorgeous on my tiered tray. For this DIY, you are going to take this Gather at Home mega pad from my website, and I'm going to use some more of this buffalo check print scrapbook paper on one of these square scrap wood pieces that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and I am just going to cut that out with some scissors, use my trusty old glue stick to apply the glue to the front of the wood square, add my scrapbook paper to the front, make sure it's all nice and stuck down, use an X-Acto knife to get any of that scrap edges off there. Take one of these Dollar Tree sunflowers. I just glued the leaves to the back of the sunflower and then glued the whole thing to the front of this square, and that is it for this one. For this DIY, you are going to take 2 of these mini wooden rolling pins from Hobby Lobby, my Sunflower Market Mega Pack that you can get from my website, and I just chose 2 different designs from this scrapbook paper pack. The one with the sunflowers and the ones with the bees, because you know you can't have sunflowers without some bees. They kind of go together. So I'm just going to measure out my paper around the rolling pin middle, and I just kind of measured it by eyeballing and using my pen to kind of figure out how long it was going to be, and I'm just going to cut my paper out as best as I possibly can. It definitely is not perfect, so don't worry on making it too precise. So I'm just going to roll this paper around my rolling pin. I added some hot glue to one end of my scrapbook paper and pressed that against my rolling pin, and then I just rolled the rest of the paper around my rolling pin, added some more hot glue to the other end of the paper, and then rolled it up so that it was all nice and secure so the paper is stuck to your rolling pin. And I did that to both of my rolling pins. Then to finish it off, give it kind of a finishing touch, I took some scraps of that fabric that I had from the Dollar Tree, tied it around each end of my rolling pin, and then I followed these exact same steps for my other rolling pin, but instead of the fabric, I just used some twine and I just wrapped it around a couple times, gave it a couple double knots on there, and that is all you gotta do for these super cute rolling pins. For this DIY, I'm going to take one of these COUTURE mini signs. I think these are like the 3x3 or 3.5x3.5 signs. And one of their transfers, this bee transfer, just really stuck out to me. I thought it was really cute. And like I said, bees and sunflowers definitely have to go together. So I'm just going to take that transfer, fuzz it and fuzz it and fuzz it because this one was extra sticky, and I added it to my little mini sign, grabbed my chalk paste in black, added my paste to my transfer, and that's what you got to do for this DIY. Really fast and easy, super cute. If you want to check out COUTURE, I'll link them in the description box below. They have some really great promos for May, buy two get one free, so make sure to check those out. For this DIY, again, taking that same fabric from the Dollar Tree, cutting myself out a little strip. And then I also found this wooden fence piece from the Dollar Tree. Again, I was only able to find one of these. I don't know how I was lucky enough to just get one, but I found this one, and I'm going to take that fabric, wrap it around the bottom, and hot glue that into place. Next, I'm going to take some more of that fabric and just tie it into a little bow by taking it into 2 loops and tying it like you would your shoelace. I'm also going to grab some of these paper flowers that I got in a pack from Michaels, and I just laid 3 of them out in a diagonal line and used my hot glue gun to secure these in a place. And then I'm going to hot glue that bow to the top corner of my fence. Lastly, I'm going to take these little wooden bees that I got in a pack off of Amazon last year. I will have them linked in my description box because these are too dang cute not to use all over your bee and summer decor. I personally like taking the little sticky bottom off of it because I like to secure it with hot glue. I feel like it's, you know, more stuck down than the little sticky pads that they use. But I just hot glue these into a couple random places, and that is it for this one. I think this one turned out too stinking cute.
And that's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know which project was your favorite, and let me know what theme are you decorating your tier tray for the summertime. I want to hear your guys' ideas and what you guys love decorating with. And then again, if you guys want to check out my sunflower and plant tier tray craft kits, I will link those in my description box below. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.